I would say this tip from Flowmaster is going to appeal to the truck owners out there who want to change up the appearance of their factory 2.5-inch system if equipped, or maybe a different aftermarket system where the included tip might have gotten a little beat up after a few years of use. Now the Flowmaster tip is sold individually for around that $40 price point, and the simple bolt-on installation will get a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter from me, with a little bit more detail later in the video. So as you might expect, there's really not a whole lot to talk about here with this Flowmaster tip, but let's get to what we can talk about, and that of course is the materials and construction. Now the entire tip has been made from double wall premium grade 304 stainless steel, and then polished to the bright finish that you see right here. And then finally you're looking at that Flowmaster logo embossed into the tip itself. As far as the basic dimensions with the Flowmaster, you're gonna be looking at a total length of roughly 10 inches, but with a 4¼ inch oval diameter, and of course that angle cut tip, as you guys can see. Again, this will only work on piping that is 2.5 inches in diameter. So I highly encourage you to double check the size of your piping before pulling the trigger on this particular option. Some of you guys might be wondering if this tip will alter the sound of your exhaust in any way, shape, or form. And honestly, it's not a dumb question, but I am here to tell you that this really is just for aesthetics or looks alone. It will not have any impact to the sound, as it is ultimately the function of your muffler and your resonator. The tip from Flowmaster does feature a clamp-on design, meaning installing this will be made slightly easier due to the fact that there's no welding to get the tip in place. However, if you do plan on installing this onto your factory exhaust system, like we talked about a little bit earlier, then you will need to remove that factory tip first. Now, if your factory tip is bolted on, just simply unbolt it. However, if it's welded on, then you will need to grab a Sawzall or a different cutting tool and then remove it yourself. Now, depending on whether or not you need to cut or unbolt your tip, I'm still gonna go 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, because even if you do have to cut, it's extremely minor and extremely simple. Now the install time will vary again depending on your setup, but I'm willing to call this one anywhere from a few minutes to maybe a half hour if you do have to cut. Wrapping this one up, there are a few different reasons why you might be interested in going with a tip alone from Flowmaster as opposed to going with a full-blown catback exhaust system. Whether adding a fresh look to the factory system or maybe replacing a damaged aftermarket tip, the Flowmaster 4-inch option will be super affordable for the 2.5-inch systems out there, and you can pick one up for your truck right here at AmericanTrucks.com.